law, however faulty that order may be, as argued by the Congress party. The first scenario, where the Lok Sabha Speaker begins the disqualification proceedings. In the second scenario, you can have another MP that can urge the Speaker to disqualify him. A higher court, if it stays the conviction of Rahul Gandhi, that's something that he would want to do. In the fourth scenario, until conviction is stayed, the sword of disqualification looms over Rahul Gandhi. That can happen anytime. Those are the possible scenarios that Rahul Gandhi is looking forward to. The most likely one, or the most preferred one for him, is to appeal to a higher court and get a stay on his conviction. Ananya with us on the broadcast. Ananya, any further details that we have of that order?
Well, the order is still in Gujarati and still being translated by certain translators at this point of time. But what is very, very clear today is that the opposition is all gun, the BJP is all guns blazing and demanding for Rahul Gandhi to be disqualified from the parliament. And in fact, a lot of legal experts who we've spoken to have also cited the same thing, that the Section 8(3) of of the Representative of the People Act gives out a disqualification for a person who's convicted for 2 years or more. And the same is the case with Rahul Gandhi, and this means that immediately he seems to be disqualified under the law, is what the legal experts who are saying. But at the same point of time, it's the purview of the Speaker who has to move a disqualification motion against him, or he has to receive a complaint from an MP, particularly saying that this person is convicted and please move please disqualify him from the assembly, and a disqualification motion is moved against him. But how would it pan out by the BJP or some others who are actually asking for Gandhi's disqualification is something that has to be seen. But at this point of time, the only relief, the only remedy that is available with Mr. Rahul Gandhi is to approach a sessions court, seek a stay on his conviction under the sections of the Code of Criminal Procedure. He has to appear before the court under Section 378 and 379. Yeah. And under 389, he also would have to file an application seeking a stay on the conviction that has been ordered against Mr. Rahul Gandhi. So now, when is this appeal filed, and whether in this due course of filing this particular appeal, a coercive action like a disqualification motion is moved against him or not, is something that is to be seen at this point.
Ananya Bhatnagar getting us all the details of that order, what is likely to follow, the different scenarios that we have laid out for you. As expected, there are political reactions which are coming in from different sides. We'll play out them to you. But before that, I want to cut across to my colleague Sharon, who's with us on the broadcast. Sharon, what more can you tell us?
Well, right now we are bringing to you these live visuals where Rahul Gandhi has now just come out of the airport and he is in fact heading towards his residence. There are in fact a large number of security that is in fact deployed right outside the airport, and you can see the kind of chaos the entire situation is creating at the moment. The Delhi police is in fact ensuring no untoward incident happens. So this is in fact the vehicle of Rahul Gandhi. This is the Innova car in which he is in fact sitting. 5 p.m. he landed and he came out now. There is in fact an attempt that is made by media to speak to him. There are attempts made by Congress workers to get near him, but you can see the complete chaotic situation right here, even after such security that is in fact heavy security that was in fact deployed here. There is in fact a lot of chaos that is being witnessed here at the moment. So anytime now Rahul Gandhi will be leaving from the airport. He has come out. If I ask my camera person to keep focusing on his vehicle over here, the convoy is in fact ready, and he will from here directly will be going to his residence. And of course we already heard what is going to be the next step that will be taken by Congress party as far as Rahul Gandhi is concerned. Abhishek Manu Singhvi, while in fact addressing the press conference, has stated that they in fact will be challenging this particular verdict that has come. So right now these are the live visuals from the T1 arrival, where Rahul Gandhi any moment will be leaving from here. You can see the kind of security that is in fact tightened up here. There is in fact 3 layers of security to ensure no untoward incident happens. We have seen that not just Congress MPs, nor the Congress workers, all senior Congress leaders have in fact joined here, and I believe there is in fact, you can see how the Delhi police is in fact making a human chain, and I believe Rahul Gandhi will be willing to speak. Alright, so you can see now Rahul Gandhi is in fact leaving. He has not spoken to the media yet. Without speaking to the media, he is in fact leaving. These are the visuals right there in the front seat itself. Rahul Gandhi is sitting there. Behind him, K.C. Venugopal. Remember, a team of Congress leaders, K.C. Venugopal, Gaurav Gogoi, all of them were in fact part of the team that went with Rahul Gandhi today to Surat Court, and now the entire convoy with the Congress leaders and workers have now left from the airport, heading straight towards his residence at Tuklak Road.
My colleague Sherin Elizabeth getting us all the details from the Delhi airport. The Congress leader has reached the national capital. You have the leaders from the Congress party who are there to escort him. You also have the Congress supporters who are present there, media present there in heavy numbers. Well, indeed, the police and the local paramilitary staff has a tough job to do. This is right outside the Delhi airport. Sherin, coming back to you, who are the key Congress leaders who are present there? Congress supporters also present there in large numbers. Not to forget that this is outside an airport, so must be a problem to the commuters.
So in fact, we have these leaders over here. You can see Manikim Tagore is in fact there. We are also seeing Nasir Hussain also. Sir, what one?
Double line.
Sir, right, what is the next step that will be taken by the Congress party?
Senior leaders of Congress party are meeting at 7 o'clock at Mallikarjun Khargeji's residence, and after that we'll take a call for the future course of action.
Alright, so the meeting right now is going to be at Khargeji's
Yeah, at 7 o'clock.
Alright. So 7 o'clock there is going to be in fact a meeting at Mallikarjun Kharge's residence, and from there a more firm decision will in fact be coming, and they will in fact be saying what is going to be their next course of action. Of course, as far as challenging the verdict is concerned, they are in fact doing that, but what is going to be the next step, because there is in fact a fear of the disqualification of Rahul Gandhi. So what is going to be the strategy as far as Congress party is concerned? How are they going to deal with that is something that will be discussed at Mallikarjun Kharge's residence. I just want you to show one by one. There are in fact leaders coming in. There is in fact Adhir Ranjan Chaudhary also now leaving from the airport. All of them are heading towards the residence of Mallikarjun Kharge, where there will be around 7 p.m. There will in fact be a meeting that will in fact go on, and there will be a decision that will be taken. Let me go and speak to a few of the MPs are still left here. Let me try and get in more words from here at the airport, and if I ask my camera person to just pan and show you the kind of visuals out there. The Congress workers are still in fact around the car, the convoy of Rahul Gandhi, who have in fact covered it in large numbers. They all are in fact protesting and will continue to protest is what they are saying. So from here, of course, the protest has moved, but as far as the decision, what is going to be the next step, because of course there is a fear as far as disqualification of Rahul Gandhi is concerned, that strategy, that all those decisions will of course be taken at Mallikarjun Kharge's residence. There's a meeting that has been called, the steering committee meeting at 7 p.m. and later it will be decided what is going to be the strategy as far as Congress is concerned. I will be in fact going to Manikim Tagore also here. We already spoke to Nasir Hussain, who has in fact been saying that they are heading towards, all the MPs are heading towards Mallikarjun Kharge's residence, and in a minute we will be in fact speaking to Manikim Tagore as well, who will be telling us. But if I ask my camera person to just keep focusing on those.
Colleague Sherin Elizabeth reporting from the Delhi airport. Various Congress leaders are present there. Rahul Gandhi has just landed in the national capital. His fate hangs in balance. Let's listen in to the reactions.
Party MPs, Lok Sabha MPs, we are going to the Lok Sabha because they are trying to pass the finance bill and other budgetary demands under this. Therefore, Congress party will fight democratically. Democracy is in danger in India. We are fighting that battle against those kind of authoritarian rule by Modi and Amit Shah.
But as far as the strategy is concerned, because Rajnath Singh also, Piyush Goyal also saying that the kind of speech, the kind of statements that has been made by Rahul Gandhi, he should be careful because when it's a public platform, he should not be defaming the Prime Minister. He has a status. He's at the end of the day the Prime Minister of the nation.
Rahul Gandhi ji speaks truth. Rahul Gandhi ji speaks the right thing. Rahul ji speaks for those people who are voiceless. Mr. Piyush Goyal and other people, members of the Modi cabinet, can have their views, and they always speak all defamatory things about Mr. Rahul Gandhi. They had spoken in the parliament also. They had spoken. I had given a privilege motion against Mr. Rajnath Singh ji, Therefore, we will continue to be decent and we will continue to raise our voice against this injustice.
One last question. If the disqualification happens as per the law, what is going to be the action taken by the Congress party?
Democracy is dead. That we can say correctly. That we can be clear that in India, democracy is dead then.
All right. So that was Manikim Tagore saying that they are going in fact towards Khargeji's residence, and from there they will be deciding what is the next future course of action.
Sharon Elizabeth getting us all the details. Let me quickly take this question to our guests as well who are joining us on the broadcast. Those are the visuals from the Delhi airport. Rahul Gandhi has landed in the national capital. His future as the Member of Parliament hangs in balance. Various experts have told us that after this conviction, yes, the sentence has been suspended, but he needs to get a stay on his conviction from a higher court. We have Charu Pragya, the BJP national spokesperson, who will join us on the broadcast. Shravanti Palwai, who is the Congress spokesperson. Tejveer Singh Bhatia, an advocate, joining us on the broadcast. Tejveer, coming to you first, what are the possible options for Rahul Gandhi? More importantly, is the speaker free now to take any kind of action against Rahul Gandhi? We're talking about disqualification here.
Yes, insofar as disqualification is concerned, Rahul Gandhi can be disqualified by the speaker today itself. In fact, in 2013, Supreme Court had decided that disqualification comes into operation immediately after pronouncement of the judgment of conviction. So here the judgment has already been pronounced. There is only a suspension of sentence. I think the disqualification has already kicked in.
You're saying disqualification has already kicked in. That's your argument.
Yes.
All right. Let me take this to the Congress party as well, who's with us on the broadcast. Shravanti ji, the legal experts argue that the speaker can take a call any minute. The BJP has also insisted that we must go by the rule book, and if the 2013 order and the judgment of the Supreme Court is the law of the land, then the disqualification must be immediate. Your top leader losing his seat, that's the political future that he looks forward to. What is the Congress party going to do about this?
It is too early to say that this will lead to his disqualification on the first ground, because the People's Representation Act of 1950 also holds certain laws as per which the disqualification must happen. And as our legal counsel just now said, because he is already, the verdict has been pronounced, the speaker is eligible to go ahead with the proceeding. Well, if that was that easy, there would be so many others who would have been disqualified immediately. Well, I do not think that is going to happen that soon. And there are always legal options open, which the Congress party is already exploring. And we are confident on the judicial system, and we are very sure that our leader will not be subjugated to a disqualification at this level.
That discourse from the Congress party, Shravanti ji, that democracy is dead, that continues to come. We just heard few of your leaders speaking the same.
Yes.
Well,
yes.
well, I could understand that argument when you were talking about agencies, say Enforcement Directorate or CBI, plausibly because the union government does have some sway. As far as this judgment is concerned, is that also the allegation of the Congress party, that judiciary or the judicial institutions are somewhere compromised?
Looking at this, in this specific case, as per IPC, under section 199, the locus standi of the person should be the one who is directly harmed or who is directly defamed in this case. While the person who has gone to the court is not directly a person who is, defamed or who got injustice out of this entire situation. So it would be very wrong. First of all, we are questioning the very ground, the locus standi of the person who has gone to the court under CRPC of 199. How has he been harmed, or how has he been defamed? Because this was a very political statement in which Rahul Gandhi ji has very clearly said, he has made an observation saying, why is it that we find that all the people who are accused have the surname of Modi? He has not said all Modis are fraudsters or cheaters. So there is no way that you could actually, the very ground of giving the judgment of this case is something that is questionable.
Your disagreement with the judgment, does that insinuate an institution, is my question to you, ma'am, before I go to Charu Pragya.
Well, here we are just questioning the grounds on which the judgment was passed. Well, the judgments are always open for further examination, and this is just a magistrate court. We have further courts to approach to. And yes, we have a cause of concern. So we will raise it in the next forum. the next court.
Charu, coming to you, as far as the disqualification proceeding is concerned, will the BJP urge the Speaker's office to do it as soon as possible?
Anusha, good evening.
Good
I
evening.
think legality in issues as grave as this needs to be looked into, and I'm certain the Honorable Speaker will take appropriate action. That being said, the People's Representation Act on this is very clear. If you are convicted of a crime, then you have to face the consequences. And in the case of Mr. Gandhi, he has been an habitual offender. This is not the first time a court has passed any kind of a ruling against him. We saw before the 2019 elections as well, he had to apologize in public for callous, thoughtless remarks that he has made. And I'm sorry, I don't agree with the Congress spokesperson here. When you are supporting a leader who goes out of his way to insult India, the people of India, not once, not twice, but repeatedly, and supported by other leaders in his party, someone has to take a stand, and I am glad this exact judgment has been passed today. It's important Mr. Gandhi understands that all the talks of privilege that he comes from, at the end of the day, he has to learn to show respect to the people of India. What kind of a statement is "Sare chor Modi ki hote hai?" And he's been talking against India, against the chair of the Honorable Prime Minister, not just the person, the Prime Minister, so many times, and in such a horrible, terrible manner that it sets a bad example for politics all around. At the end of the day, we must remember that he did disturb harmony. He did attack the integrity of people. It was an intentional insult. And on those complaints, the courts have passed a judgment that they have seen fit. Personally, I think this needed to be done. Mr. Gandhi needs to be shown the mirror of what he is, of the kind of statements he passes. And this politics of using bad language, the politics of insults, the politics of abuses, this needs to stop, and Congress needs to take a lesson from
I
this.
take your broad points. I take your broad
very
points.
quickly.
Yeah.
Very quickly,
No.
can I just add one more thing?
Yeah.
Now, Congress is also a party which creates a ruckus every time the name of their leader is taken. When he was called in for mere questioning, instead of cooperating with that questioning, you saw how the party people literally tried to burn down the country. They damaged public property.
But Charu, you made an essential point about political discourse in this country and the kind of language which is used in political discourse. Great point. But aren't all political parties guilty of crossing that line, to be fair?
No, and see, whoever crosses this line needs to face the music, and I do not shy away from calling a spade a spade. But I want to ask you, Anusha, if this party and its workers can create the kind of ruckus that burns down half this country when Mr. Gandhi is called in for questioning, what is going to happen now? Aren't they already gearing up to create chaos, wreak havoc, and generally disturb the lives of Indian all along, because he has got what he deserves?
Let me take that question to Shravanti. Let me take that question to Shravanti ji as well. Shravanti ji, I mean, your leader has been convicted by a court of law. You're right, you have legal options. And any individual, including the Congress leader, has all the options to go before the court of law. But what is with these statements which are being made on the road, the ruckus that we saw, right outside Delhi airport, or the different kind of dharnas that have been planned by the Congress party? Isn't the Congress party making it political?
you mean to say prior to 2014 there was never any activity that was taken up by the BJP? Never did they get onto the roads to protest for their leaders? Well, I do not agree that. I agree to that.
Yes.
Number one, just now my esteemed colleague made a statement. I would like to clarify on that. The fact is that Rahul Gandhi ji apologized for misquoting the judgment, not for the case. Number one, get the facts right. Number two, if you're talking about defamation, if you're talking about everything, is there any ground that you're talking about? We are just talking about a couple of weeks, not even just last week, where 4 members, I'm talking about ministers, get on and criticize a member of parliament in his absence on the August floor of the house. So how acceptable is that?
1 second, Charles.
So you can breach any kind of law. You can just use law as per your discretion, as per your requirement, and then tomorrow say that just it is Rahul Gandhi ji who was wrong. Of course, he has got the right to speak.
All right.
And this is a political discourse.
You've made your point on short time. Charu, 30 seconds to you. And then I have to go to Tejveer Singh.
This is not something that he has made on any other platform.
I take your point.
This was a public meeting where
Charu Pragya, please, go ahead.
Yeah, while I appreciate what the Congress spokesperson is trying to defend here, let me remind her she also belongs to the party where leaders sat on the tarmac of an international airport of India and shouted slogans saying Modi teri kabar khudegi. So I'm sorry, you really need to do some soul searching. Mr. Gandhi did need to see this mirror, as do all the other workers in Congress.
All right, Tejveer Singh ji, I'm coming to you. While it's wonderful that you have an order from the Supreme Court, a two-judge bench judgment, where they said that once convicted, immediately disqualified, can you, for the benefit of our viewers, think of the recent cases post-2013 where this practice has been adopted? Because as I understand, in law, there are so many things that you can take an advantage of, or perhaps use for your own benefit to secure your chair, that has been used by multiple netas. Any incident, any case that we can go back in the recent past where there was an immediate disqualification?
Very recent past, Lalu Prasad Yadav also got disqualified because he was convicted. Now the judgment of the Supreme Court in 2013 is very clear. It was thereafter followed in 2018. And it says that notwithstanding that you file an appeal or a revision against your conviction order, your disqualification remains. So if that's the case, then I don't see how Rahul Gandhi as on date is not disqualified till he gets an order, staying the conviction. Staying conviction is permissible, but I don't think till the time there is a stay of conviction, he can say that he's out of the docks as of now.
All right. So Lalu Prasad Yadav, as far as I remember, that was back in 2013 itself. He was disqualified because there were multiple cases by the CBI court in which he was pronounced guilty. I don't know how much of the bearing that the Supreme Court order had there, because even that time, there was no relief that he was getting from any court and the conviction wasn't getting.
But again, you're talking about a leader who tore down a ordinance because Lalu Prasad Yadav was getting some protection.
I'm only talking about the legalities of the case. I mean, for the politics, we have the two learned ladies with us on the broadcast who will talk about that. Charaji, coming back to you. When it comes to the Speaker's office, of course, can take cognizance on its own, but any member of Parliament is free to move an application and seek the disqualification of Rahul Gandhi. Will we see that happen from the side of the BJP?
Anusha, I am not very certain about what action is being taken by the honourable members of Parliament, but the Parliament is in session. I am sure that if cognizance is not taken by the honourable Speaker by himself, somebody will move an application, as it must be moved, because in any case, Rahul Gandhi is not even interested in attending Parliament. You can look at his track record of attendance or how many times he wants to participate in what is going on in Parliament. I don't think he's going to mind it very much either ways.
So what the strategy of the BJP is, we'll get to know in a few days from now. Shravanti ji, what happens to the fate of the leader? Many are saying that immediate disqualification might happen. You haven't answered that clearly. You said there are a lot of legal options that he has, but he doesn't need to just challenge his case. He also needs to get a stay on his conviction. Are you confident he'll be able to do that? Is there a thinking that you want to go directly to the Supreme Court, or you'll appeal to the higher courts?
I'm sure we have a legal team, we have think tanks, and we have leaders like Abhishek Singh Manvi who are already there with our legal team. And I'm sure they're exploring all the options, and whatever would be the outcome, we already have a meeting scheduled at Mr. Kharge's residence at 7 p.m. today. And I'm sure there would be some decision taken there. It would be too premature on my part to just assume something would be happening. But yes, definitely the Congress would look into all the options and the legalities available for us.
Well, this is far from over. The conviction or the order coming from the court is just stage one, act one of this entire drama. There's so much more to happen. What the Speaker's office will do, what is the legal strategy of the Congress party, and much more. Charu Pragya, Shravanti Palwai and Mr. Tejveer Singh, thank you for joining us on the broadcast and being a part of this discussion. Let's move on to some other breaking developments coming in. After Kejriwal, now Akhilesh Yadav comes out in support of Rahul Gandhi. He's tweeted, and I quote, BJP, which secures its political future by implicating the opposition in minor cases, is scared of the power of the opposition. There's support pouring in for the Congress leader after that order, after that judgment of the local magistrates court. That's the word coming in. Let me try and cut across to my colleague Pranshu Mishra, who will give us more details on this important issue. Samajwadi Party, interestingly, has maintained a distance from a lot of statements that Rahul Gandhi has made in the recent past, including the statements that he made at the foreign universities, at the Cambridge University and at different occasions in UK. Pranshu with us on the broadcast. Pranshu, a rare show of support for Rahul Gandhi by Akhilesh Yadav?
Well, clearly, yes. You are absolutely right that more or less Akhilesh Yadav and the Samajwadi Party has maintained distance when it comes to towing the political line given by the Congress Party. In fact, even during the Bharat Jodo Yatra, the Samajwadi Party has actually skipped the leg which passed through Uttar Pradesh. But this endorsement, this support on the case in which Rahul Gandhi has seen conviction clearly comes in as a big surprise. Support from a major opposition leader, that is Akhilesh Yadav, and the sort of tweet which he has done saying that all these cases should be actually of contempt should be slapped against the BJP. I think this particular tweet has a lot of political messaging at a time when there is a lot of speculation about the opposition unity.
Yeah.
When it comes to actually any sort of political understanding or electoral understanding with the Congress in the state of Uttar Pradesh, Akhilesh Yadav has maintained the position that he is not looking for an alliance. But yesterday in Lucknow, talking to journalists, he clearly said that when it comes to Uttar Pradesh and when it comes to fighting the BJP in Uttar Pradesh, all opposition parties, including the Congress and others, should realize that the lead role in that fight against BJP would clearly be played by the Samajwadi Party, which is the biggest opposition. So I think the idea on the mind of Akhilesh Yadav is that in Uttar Pradesh, the opposition, including the Congress, should see Samajwadi Party as the torchbearer, the leader of the opposition unity. And if that idea is feasible to the Congress, I think Akhilesh Yadav is also open to, having some sort of understanding with the Congress party. And that's the reason that particular mindset, I think, is also reflected in this particular tweet. So clearly, you are absolutely right. This tweet from Akhilesh Yadav supporting Rahul Gandhi is clearly also should be seen as a big political statement where generally silent Akhilesh is now openly supporting and standing with Rahul Gandhi on this issue.
In the run-up to 2024, every small thing, every small stand is going to matter. Pranshu Mishra, UP Bureau Chief, with all the details. We continue tracking this story and much more here on CNN News 18. For now, a very short break.
After hearing this case for a very long time now, the court has given out 2 years of imprisonment to Mr. Rahul Gandhi in this particular case. The options available to him is, number one, that he has already exercised, that he has sought a bail on a bail bond of rupees 15,000. He will now be going before, in fact, a sessions court to seek stay on this particular sentencing that has been awarded by the Chief Judicial Magistrate, because remember that this is a magistrate court order and has to be appealed before a sessions court, and if at all there is no kind of relief from the sessions court, also he will have to approach the High Court of Gujarat in this particular matter, and then it follows to the Supreme Court. Now, how does it affect Mr. Rahul Gandhi's disqualification or his parliamentary membership? Is that Section 8 of the Representative of the People's Act, subsection 3 clearly goes on to say that a person, a member of parliament who is convicted for offences not less than 2 years.
There are options available with Rahul Gandhi. One is the bail option that he's already exercised, and now he will approach the Sessions Court. Ananya and Pallavi, I'll just request both of you to stay on with us. Some other developments also coming in. The Congress also realizing that there has been a big setback, so they're looking at other legal options. We're now understanding the Congress will in fact approach the top court. They'll approach the Supreme Court to try and get a suspension of the verdict that has come in from the Surat court. Arunama is joining us on the broadcast. Arunama, many would say this was an expected lines. We are understanding a 2-year jail term has been announced. For that, they will have to approach the Sessions Court. But what are you hearing as far as them getting a legal team to now approach the top court?
All the top legal minds of the Congress party, most of whom are also members of parliament, are getting together to formulate their legal strategy. But as of this moment, two things are being made very clear. One, that, this 2 years sentencing makes the sword of disqualification hang on Mr. Rahul Gandhi, and therefore there has to be a legal remedy for that. Appealing in a higher court is the immediate remedy that the Congress leaders are suggesting. They're also pointing out that Rahul Gandhi could well be on his way to Delhi, and once he reaches here, perhaps the process of filing the appeal in a higher court will get underway. They're also pointing out that, in this case, because it's not a case of moral turpitude, which means it's not a case of under Prevention of Corruption Act, the lower court there doesn't really have the power to put the sentence in abeyance or suspend the sentence. That's what the lawyers from the Congress party are pointing out. And therefore, they will have to go to a higher court and they will have to seek that remedy from the higher court of suspending the sentence pending their appeal. Till the time that order comes from the court where the sentence is suspended, the sword of disqualification will continue to hang on Rahul Gandhi, is what we are understanding after speaking to the lawyers here.
Okay, Arunima, we'll request you to stay on with us. Let's bring Pallavi also in the conversation. Pallavi, taking on from what Arunima was saying, politically speaking, what does this mean for Rahul Gandhi and the Congress? Till that 30-day period is on, will he have to suspend, will he have to resign or step down as an MP?
Well, a lot depends on whether his sentencing has been stayed or not, and that's exactly what top Congress sources are telling me, is that this is what they are working upon. The first step they really want to take is that his sentencing must be stayed or suspended for the time being, which means he can carry on as a member of parliament. Politically speaking, well, this has very, very grave, grave consequences. It works both the ways. Of course, it's going to be used politically by the BJP to make a point that, look, not us, but even the courts think that you keep on maligning the image of the Prime Minister, and this is something which is unacceptable, something which is wrong.
There has been a big setback for Congress and Congress's MP Rahul Gandhi because he's been declared guilty by a Surat court in connection with a 2019 remark on the Modi surname. Rahul Gandhi as of now has been sentenced to 2 years in jail, but it is a bailable offence where bail is priced at 15,000 rupees. Many reactions coming in. Union Law Minister Kiren Rijiju has already responded saying that whatever Rahul Gandhi says, it only causes trouble for him. Let's listen in to what the Union Minister had to say.
राहुल गांधी जो भी बोलते हैं वो आजकल ऐसा हो गया कि उससे सिर्फ नुकसान ही होता है। उनका पार्टी के लिए नुकसान होता ही होता है, लेकिन सबके लिए, देश के लिए भी अच्छा नहीं है। कांग्रेस के ही कुछ एमपीज और कांग्रेस के कुछ नेता मुझे बताया, आज भी बताया, कि राहुल गांधी का जो रवैया है उसके वजह से सब खराब हो गया। उनके पार्टी भी डूब रहा है और साथ साथ में पार्टी को भी नुकसान हो रहा है।
See, I feel it's very sorry state of affairs. In fact, I do not want to criticize the verdict of the court because we always honor the court. But that too belongs to Surat. That also is another part of it. But somehow, don't you feel that in democracy, everyone has a right to criticize? And, in democracy, one sentence is very much important, is that to agree to disagreement is the democracy.
जब पूरे समाज ने इकट्ठा होके जब ये तय कर लिया है तो ये पता चल गया। आज देखिए यहाँ पे जो हंगामा, हम क्वेश्चन आंसर चलाना चाहते थे, वो मांग कर रहे थे कि राहुल गांधी को बोलने दिया जाए। अगर अभी बोल देते कि हाँ बोलने दे तो वो तो हाजिर ही नहीं थे। तो जो हंगामा खड़ा किया था, जो नियम के तहत उनको जो डिमांड करनी चाहिए, कहाँ पे भी जाके कुछ भी बोलना, और सूरत के साथ साथ में पूरी कम्युनिटी जो है ओबीसी समाज में जिसका गढ़ माना जाता है, ऐसे सूरत में जो उनका केस हुआ है और कोर्ट ने अब तय कर लिया है, तो उनकी सजा तो उनको होगी।
राहुल गांधी जी जिस तरह से पूरे समाज को या किसी के बारे में जिस तरह से कुछ ना कुछ बोल देते हैं, उनका अपने आप पे कोई कंट्रोल नहीं है। उन्हें पता नहीं चलता है कि क्या बोलना चाहिए, क्या नहीं बोलना चाहिए। उन्होंने पूरे समाज को बदनाम करने का जो एक निवेदन किया था, उसकी वजह से नाराज होकर गुजरात के पूर्व कैबिनेट मंत्री और अभी एमएलए श्री पुर्णेश मोदी ने कोर्ट में केस किया था और कोर्ट का जजमेंट आया है और इस जजमेंट में उन्हें कन्विक्ट किया है। मुझे लगता है कि इसके बाद भी अगर उनमें कुछ सुधार हो तो अच्छी बात होगी। देश के लिए भी, देश का भी बार बार वो अपमान कर चुके हैं। देश के लोग भी इसकी वजह से उनके ऊपर खफा है, उसका खामियाना उनको भुगतना पड़ेगा।
देखिए, 13 अप्रैल 2019 लोकसभा के चुनाव के दरमियान कर्नाटक स्टेट में बेंगलुरु से 100 किलोमीटर दूर कोलार में कांग्रेस के तत्कालीन प्रमुख श्रीमान राहुल गांधी द्वारा जो सभा आयोजित की गई, उनमें उनका भाषण था, सभी चोरों का उपनाम मोदी क्यों, और भी ढूंढो कितने मोदी निकलेंगे। इस अनुसंधान में यहां सूरत की कोर्ट में फरियाद की गई। आज उनका जो फैसला आया है, मैं उस फैसला का स्वागत करता हूं।
क्या कुछ कहा कोर्ट में, क्या कुछ कहा गया? राहुल गांधी आप भी अंदर थे, जज ने क्या कहा? राहुल,
देखिए, ये कोर्ट का न्यायिक प्रक्रिया है, जो भी फैसला है उनका भी स्वागत करता हूं।
और देश के लोकतंत्र को जिस तरीके से कलंकित करने का काम किया है, तो उससे तो उन्हें काफ़ी बड़ी सजा के वो हकदार हैं। और मैं समझता हूँ न्यायिक प्रक्रिया में धीरे धीरे वो सारी चीज़ें सामने आएंगी, क्योंकि जिन लोगों का संसदीय लोकतंत्र में आस्था नहीं है, जो देश की को बढ़ते हुए नहीं देखना चाहते, आज दुनिया में भारत का जो सम्मान बढ़ा ये उनको डाइजेस्ट नहीं हो रहा है, तो ऐसे लोग तो निश्चित रूप से सजा के पात्र हैं। और जो न्यायालय का निर्णय आया मैं उसको स्वागत करता हूँ।
Let's also now bring in our colleagues, our legal correspondent Ananya Bhatnagar joining us on the broadcast, our senior editor Pallavi Ghosh also joining us on the broadcast. Ananya, coming to you first, give better context to our viewers. Who was the petitioner as far as this case is concerned? I believe this case dates back to the 2019, and also talk to us about the sentencing that has come from the Surat court.
Well, definitely, the petitioner was a BJP.
Welcome back. The Pakistan Day Parade, which was to be held today, has been cancelled due to the growing political unrest and the nation's economic situation. The highest leadership of the Pakistani military decided against holding a military parade to commemorate Pakistan Day. In addition to being under pressure from the International Monetary Fund to reduce defence spending, the decision was made as a result of rising inflation and a faltering economy. Pakistan's army displays its equipments and military capabilities as part of celebration of Pakistan Day, which honours the passage of the 1940 Lahore Resolution. Well, clearly the economic problems for Pakistan are taking over the national celebrations that they have each year. Right now, they have no money for National Day, as today Pakistan Day Parade has been cancelled due to floundering economy. The celebration to commemorate, as I said, the 1940 Lahore Resolution that has been cancelled. There would be no showcase of Pakistan's weapon or their weaponry, nuclear missiles this year. No 31-gun salute in Islamabad or the 21-gun salute in provincial capitals. Rising political instability is yet another reason for the cancellation of this ceremony, which is very, very important in the country of Pakistan. Let me try and cut across to my colleague Abhishek, who's with us on the broadcast. Abhishek, clearly the economic problems, the kind of posturing they want to give to the IMF, various factors playing with the cancellation of the celebrations.
Yes, Anusha, and this is kind of a statement as to what Pakistan's current political and economic crisis looks like, because Pakistan, if not celebrating National Day, which is of prime importance, it could have been a political statement from the country to its neighbors, to its friendly country. There are invitations sent across, and then there is this massive display of military might as well, and it also kind of tells the Pakistani leaders try to underline the fact that how much Pakistan has progressed and what is the economic situation, what are their vision, what are their plan for the country in future. But everything looks like very much in doldrum, with the last few months have been severely in a very under pressure condition, where Pakistan has failed in securing IMF's bailing money, about $1.1 billion of tranche that IMF has not given to Pakistan because the staff level agreement could not happen, and Pakistan has not been able to come to terms what IMF had laid for Pakistan in order to have more funding coming from them, and that has also stopped other countries and allies and friends and other international monetary institutions from coming forward and helping Pakistan with more monetary assistance. Meanwhile, we have all seen how much last week's political drama in Pakistan was, from Lahore to Islamabad to Rawalpindi. Every place was very volatile because of Imran Khan, his imminent arrest, and then Imran Khan's attempt to secure a bail, and how his travel from Lahore to Islamabad became a very big political issue. The other aspect have been the deteriorating internal security issue in Pakistan in the last few months. There have been hundreds of killing in the terrorist attacks, be it military officials, police personnel or civilians. In fact, just 2 days ago, a senior ISI leader, ISI official of brigadier rank was killed in a terrorist attack in Khyber Pakhtunkhwa. So the situation in Pakistan is clearly not very conducive, and Pakistan has realized it's the bad situation, and this is why this year's National Day has been, the celebration at least of National Day has been cancelled, and more of it, the embassies across the world of Pakistan and Pakistan government itself, they are just marking the day because they hold some sort of significance for their history.
Abhishek Jha, tracking all the details, getting us all perspective on that story. Joining us on the broadcast is also Major General Gigi Dwivedi, who's a defense analyst. Sir, thank you so much for speaking with us. The cancellation, is it unprecedented? Have we seen it earlier in history, sir?
Well, Anusa, let me share with you. Given these circumstances that Pakistan is going through, I think they have nothing to celebrate. Well, their economy has always been shambles, and politically Pakistan has always been unstable. But today it is double whammy because economic crisis and political crisis have come together.
Yeah.
So I don't think Pakistan has anything to celebrate. Little bit of perspective. You know, you rightly said that this day is celebrated to commemorate in 1940 Lahore Declaration. But the point is, today what is Pakistan? We need to go inside, into the a little bit inside. See, Pakistan economy is not only in shambles, not only it is in very, very dire state because their debts are around $40 billion, growing at the rate of 14%. Their economy, their growth is just 3%. Their total GDP is $340 billion.
Yeah.
And their foreign exchange reserves are just about $3.2 billion. And inflation is at 30%. So given all that, I don't think they have anything to celebrate. And let me again state it, that this is all their own creation. Because
no, you're absolutely right about that, that any country is responsible for the political and economic sanctions or any kind of eventualities that come on them because of their own actions. And so is Pakistan for the manner in which they have run their country. Sir, does this in any way signify how Pakistani military or army is losing its grip or the kind of splendor that they had when it comes to the state of Pakistan? I mean, we all know it's an open secret that the civilian government had very limited powers and it was, in fact, the army that was running the show. What does the cancellation of these celebrations signify vis-a-vis the powers of the army?
Well, Anusa, the Pakistan economy or Pakistan as a nation is a rental nation. They rent out their land, they lease it out, initially to Americans and now to the Chinese. Yes, in Pakistan, the army had a very unique role because they have run the country for all last 75 years, either directly or indirectly. But today, the army is one of the elements which have contributed to the Pakistani wars. They are eaten of the country as a parasite. They have mismanaged the country. They had no idea about economy and they have been politically interfering. So one of the main reasons of Pakistan current state is their army. And second is their politicians.
Yeah.
Within the army also, you see, today, their army is not being seen in the same light as it was because army has been totally politicized, and within the army today, there are factions. There are factions which are backing the current prime minister. There are factions which are against him. So army itself is a divided house.
Okay.
And second point is that army has not come out, with any kind of distinction anywhere. They lost all the wars. They mismanaged the country. And despite all this, their budget there was an increase in the budget to the $9 billion. So today, Pakistan army is seen as one of the parasite and one of the part of the problem. So therefore, I think this cancellation
and that's a sentiment on which the likes of Imran Khan are also thriving, and that adds to the political instability of the country. Sir, thank you so much for your time. Thank you for joining us on the broadcast, and thank you for sharing your insights. Moving on to another piece of latest news which is coming in at this point in time. The 52nd session of the UN Human Rights Council was attended by new voices of Kashmiri aspirations who want to change the global perception of Kashmir. Participants included former lawmaker and activist Shoaib Lone, Taslima Akhtar, who works for the rehabilitation of terror victims, and Bushra Mahjabeen, a terror attack survivor. Also, for the first time, the family members of the victims of terrorism have come out to share their experience with the international community. Abhishek with us on the broadcast. Abhishek, it's a narrative that should have been at the forefront for a very long time. Finally, it's at an international platform and the terror survivors are finding their voice.
Of course, and we know, Anusha, that India has raised this issue of Pakistan being the propagator of terrorism across the world for a very long time. In fact, External Affairs Minister Jaishankar has termed Pakistan as the epicenter of terrorism. Now, the good thing is that Pakistanis, those who are living in Pakistan-occupied Kashmir, they are also raising their voice. They are also coming forward and trying to tell the world, and especially at this Geneva office of Human Rights, United Nations Human Rights Council. Two sisters have told their story. One of them lost her life, and the one who was telling her story, she had lost her hand. So they said that the Pakistan state has been doing this hybrid warfare in its own in territories with its own people, and Pakistan's terrorism needs to be exposed at the world stage, and how Pakistan have been involved with the state, involved with certain terrorist organizations, how state machinery is trying to protect them, trying to shield them, and trying to use them as a political tool to oppress certain individuals or certain group who are having some sort of discontent with the state. That is very appalling, and this is what the United Nations Human Rights Council in Geneva was told.
All right, thank you Abhishek for getting us all the details on that important story, a discourse, a narrative that is finally at a global stage, and these terror survivors now sharing their experience with the international community. We talk about that story and much more on the other side of a quick break. Stay tuned.
The entire world agrees that we do need to end this conflict, but are we in store for virtually an endless war, because neither side would want to give up any territorial claims?
Where is our diaspora, and how are such radicals able to raise funds in Western nations when it is a fact that such funds are used for anti-India operations?
Under Prime Minister Narendra Modi, Parliament has broken all records of productivity. But this time around, we see there is a standoff.
JPC Baral just is just a defense. He should stand up and say that I apologize, I made a mistake.
Yes, removing security outside the High Commission is fair enough, but it's not like the protests have stopped, and it's not like the British authorities are trying to stop these protests.
Together to formulate their legal strategy, but as of this moment, two things are being made very clear. One, that this 2 years sentencing makes the sword of disqualification hang on Mr. Rahul Gandhi, and therefore there has to be a legal remedy for that. Appealing in a higher court is the immediate remedy that the Congress leaders are suggesting. They're also pointing out that Rahul Gandhi could well be on his way to Delhi, and once he reaches here, perhaps the process of filing the appeal in a higher court will get underway. They're also pointing out that, in this case, because it's not a case of moral turpitude, which means it's not a case of under Prevention of Corruption Act, the lower court there doesn't really have the power to put the sentence in abeyance or suspend the sentence. That's what the lawyers from the Congress party are pointing out. And therefore, they will have to go to a higher court, and they will have to seek that remedy from the higher court of suspending the sentence pending their appeal. Till the time that order comes from the court where the sentence is suspended, the sword of disqualification will continue to hang on Rahul Gandhi, is what we are understanding after speaking to the lawyers here.
Okay, Arunima, we'll request you to stay on with us. Let's bring Pallavi also in the conversation. Pallavi, taking on from what Arunima was saying, politically speaking, what does this mean for Rahul Gandhi and the Congress? Till that 30-day period is on, will he have to suspend, will he have to resign or step down as an MP?
Well, a lot depends on whether his sentencing has been stayed or not, and that's exactly what top Congress sources are telling me, is that this is what they are working upon. The first step they really want to take is that his sentencing must be stayed or suspended for the time being, which means he can carry on as a member of parliament. Politically speaking, well, this has very, very grave, grave consequences. It works both the ways. Of course, it's going to be used politically by the BJP to make a point that, look, not us, but even the courts think that you keep on maligning the image of the Prime Minister, and this is something which is unacceptable, something which is wrong.
There has been a big setback for Congress and Congress's MP Rahul Gandhi, because he's been declared guilty by a Surat court in connection with a 2019 remark on the Modi surname. Rahul Gandhi as of now has been sentenced to 2 years in jail, but it is a bailable offence where bail is priced at 15,000 rupees. Many reactions coming in. Union Law Minister Kiren Rijiju has already responded, saying that whatever Rahul Gandhi says, it only causes trouble for him. Let's listen in to what the Union Minister had to say.
राहुल गांधी जो भी बोलते हैं वो आजकल ऐसा हो गया कि उससे सिर्फ नुकसान ही होता है। उनका पार्टी के लिए नुकसान होता ही होता है, लेकिन सबके लिए, देश के लिए अच्छा नहीं है। कांग्रेस के ही कुछ एमपी और कांग्रेस के कुछ नेता मुझे बताया, आज भी बताया, कि राहुल गांधी का जो रवैया है उसके वजह से सब खराब हो गया। उनके पार्टी भी डूब रहा है और साथ साथ में पार्टी को भी नुकसान होता है।
See, I feel it's very sorry state of affairs. In fact, I do not want to criticize the verdict of the court because we always honor the court. But that too belongs to Surat. That also is another part of it. But somehow, don't you feel that in democracy, everyone has a right to criticize? And, in democracy, one sentence is very much important, is that to agree to disagreement is the democracy.
जब पूरे समाज ने इकट्ठा होके जब ये तय कर लिया है तो ये पता चल गया। आज देखिए यहाँ पे जो हंगामा हम क्वेश्चन आंसर चलाना चाहते थे, वो मांग कर रहे थे कि राहुल गांधी को बोलने दिया जाए। अगर अभी बोल देते कि हाँ बोलने दे, तो वो तो हाजिर ही नहीं थे। तो जो हंगामा खड़ा किया था, जो नियम के तहत उनको जो डिमांड करनी चाहिए, कहाँ पे भी जाके कुछ भी बोलना, और सूरत के साथ साथ में पूरी कम्युनिटी जो है ओबीसी समाज में जिसका गढ़ माना जाता है, ऐसे सूरत में जो उनका केस हुआ है और कोर्ट ने अब तय कर लिया है, तो उनकी सजा तो उनको होगी।
राहुल गांधी जी जिस तरह से पूरे समाज को या किसी के बारे में जिस तरह से कुछ ना कुछ बोल देते हैं, उनका अपने आप पे कोई कंट्रोल नहीं है। उन्हें पता नहीं चलता है कि क्या बोलना चाहिए, क्या नहीं बोलना चाहिए। उन्होंने पूरे समाज को बदनाम करने का जो एक निवेदन किया था, उसकी वजह से नाराज होकर गुजरात के पूर्व कैबिनेट मंत्री और अभी एमएलए श्री पुर्णेश मोदी ने कोर्ट में केस किया था और कोर्ट का जजमेंट आया है और इस जजमेंट में उन्हें कन्विक्ट किया है। मुझे लगता है कि इसके बाद भी अगर उनमें कुछ सुधार हो तो अच्छी बात होगी। देश के लिए भी, देश का भी बार बार वो अपमान कर चुके हैं। देश के लोग भी इसकी वजह से उनके ऊपर खफा है, उसका खामियाना उनको भुगतना पड़ेगा।
देखिए, 13 अप्रैल 2019 लोकसभा के चुनाव के दरमियान कर्नाटक स्टेट में बेंगलुरु से 100 किलोमीटर दूर कोलार में कांग्रेस के तत्कालीन प्रमुख श्रीमान राहुल गांधी द्वारा जो सभा आयोजित की गई, उनमें उनका भाषण था, सभी चोरों का उपनाम मोदी क्यों, और भी ढूंढो कितने मोदी निकलेंगे। इस अनुसंधान में यहां सूरत की कोर्ट में फरियाद की गई। आज उनका जो फैसला आया है, मैं उस फैसला का स्वागत करता हूं।
क्या कुछ वहाँ कोर्ट में क्या कुछ कहा गया? राहुल गांधी आप भी अंदर थे, जज ने क्या कहा? राहुल,
देखिए, ये कोर्ट का न्यायिक प्रक्रिया है, जो भी फैसला है उनका मैं स्वागत करता हूं।
और देश के लोकतंत्र को जिस तरीके से कलंकित करने का काम किया है, तो उससे तो उन्हें काफी बड़ी सजा के वो हकदार हैं। और मैं समझता हूं न्यायिक प्रक्रिया में धीरे धीरे वो सारी चीजें सामने आएंगी, क्योंकि जिन लोगों का संसदीय लोकतंत्र में आस्था नहीं है, जो देश की को बढ़ते हुए नहीं देखना चाहते, आज दुनिया में भारत का जो सम्मान बढ़ा, ये उनको डाइजेस्ट नहीं हो रहा है। तो ऐसे लोग तो निश्चित रूप से सजा के पात्र हैं। और जो न्यायालय का निर्णय आया, मैं उसको स्वागत करता हूं।
Let's also now bring in our colleagues, our legal correspondent Ananya Bhatnagar joining us on the broadcast, our senior editor Pallavi Ghosh also joining us on the broadcast. Ananya, coming to you first, give better context to our viewers. Who was the petitioner as far as this case is concerned? I believe this case dates back to the 2019, and also talk to us about the sentencing that has come from the Surat court.
Well, definitely, the petitioner was a BJP leader from Gujarat itself who had actually, in fact, filed a criminal defamation complaint under Section 499 and 500 of the Indian Penal Code against Mr. Rahul Gandhi over his certain of his statements wherein he had referred to the whole Modi community as someone being, chores, and in fact had said that they are all somebody who takes out money and go away, is what Mr. Rahul Gandhi had said, and against that, this particular person had actually filed a defamation
All right, let's cut across to some latest news coming in. For the first time since the manhunt for Amritpal Singh has begun, these are the exclusive images we are getting for you. He has been spotted outside Punjab. This CCTV is from Shahbad in Haryana. Those are the visuals on your screen right now. He has crossed the borders of Punjab as it was apprehended earlier, as it was being suspected earlier. And that's the latest CCTV footage in which he has been seen. My colleague Anshul with us on the broadcast. So Anshul, it's established that he's crossed the borders of Haryana, of Punjab.
Well, definitely it is established that he has crossed the border of Haryana. In fact, on the 19th of March itself, we have been told that he managed to cross the borders of Haryana and he reached Kurukshetra, where he stayed for almost 2 days in the house of Baljeet Kaur, who is said to be a very close aide of Amritpal Singh, who is actually running with Amritpal Singh at this point in time. So these visuals that we are seeing on a screen right now is of 20th of March, when Amritpal Singh yet again has changed his clothes. He can be seen in a shirt and a pant, and he has taken an umbrella to hide his face from the CCTV cameras. From there, it is being suspected that he might have also left Haryana by now, because this is the footage of 20th of March. Today is 23rd of March. But yes, Punjab police is now reaching closer to Amritpal Singh. If you see, before today, all the footages and the CCTV visuals that came to the fore were of 18th
Anshul, we have seen a slew of CCTV footages, visuals coming out, him changing clothes, getting on a bike, in a car, and then now walking. This visual coming in from Haryana. Do we have any information that has the Punjab police or the different state police working in close coordination with each other? Have they been able to close on in a location, in a particular area where there's a lookout for him? Because this man is on a run perpetually.
So yes, there still is no permanent location or perfect location that the Punjab police has zeroed down onto at this point in time. They are still tracing the route through which Amritpal Singh might have escaped. Yesterday we saw that how he dumped his bike very close to Ludhiana, and from there approximately 250 kilometers away, the next CCTV footage comes of 20th of March, where he can be seen in Kurukshetra. Now, what sources in the police are telling us is that on the wee hours of 21st of March morning, he has left from Kurukshetra as well.
Yes, this is the visual coming in from Shahbad in Haryana. Let's see if the Punjab police is able to arrest him. We also showed you that story where there was a possibility, his aides were discussing of a possible surrender that can happen. All eyes on this man, and the manhunt is on for Amritpal Singh and many of his aides as well. Well, with that, it's a wrap on this edition. Thank you for watching.
It's a major setback for Congress MP Rahul Gandhi. Surat Court has convicted the Wayanad MP in a 2019 defamation case. He has been sentenced by the court for 2 years. The court has also suspended Rahul Gandhi's punishment for now and has granted him bail for 30 days to allow him to appeal to a higher court. But a massive political war has broken out after the court pronounced its verdict. Congress workers across the country went out on streets protesting against this judgment. Rahul Gandhi's sister, Congress General Secretary Priyanka Gandhi Vadra, tweeted in support of her brother, saying the entire government machinery is trying to suppress Rahul's voice. On the other hand, the BJP called Rahul Gandhi a serial offender and advised him to take the Surat judgment as a learning, as words are deadlier than weapons. But this is not the only problem for the Congress former president. Rahul Gandhi may also face disqualification as an MP. If he goes behind bars, then he won't be able to contest elections for the next 8 years, which could be disastrous for the Congress party. Remember, the general elections are taking place next year, and Congress believes it will be the fulcrum of opposition unity. Conversely, though, any action on Rahul Gandhi can also be a galvanizing issue for the Congress support base and possibly even the entire opposition, given that freedom or lack of it in India is the biggest issue being raised against the current central government. But the big question right now